Well, hello and welcome, and thank you for joining me to Podcasting with the PAC. PAC stands for Philippine American Couple, and that is our YouTube channel, The Adventures of the Philippine American Couple. It is absolutely a beautiful day here. We're going to sit outside and do this little podcast for you. Today's topic is about bullying, and I want to go over some different types of bullying and how it relates to our modern world and what's been happening forever. So let's talk about this a tiny bit. So, and I always have notes. So if you see me looking down, referring to my notes, that's what I'm doing here. So we all kind of know about physical bullying. Um, we know that in school, a lot of times boys will bully other boys or kids or girls or whatever we do as children. That's probably the most common thing we think of when we think of bullying. Now, I'm just going to tell you, I was a bully as a little kid. I know this. Um, I bullied bullies. Now, don't go be thinking I'm a hero or anything because I picked on the bullies. It wasn't anything like that. I didn't do it out of nobility. I did it because I never saw a logic in bullying somebody that I knew was weaker than me. I always thought it was fun as a kid to bully somebody who thought they were tougher and meaner and bigger than other kids to bring them down. So it wasn't by any stretch being noble or a good guy or a good kid. It just enjoyed taking down bigger kids. So I was a bully as a kid. Now there's a lot of us, and I've talked to over the years, that have experienced either bullying on being bullied or being the bully, and sometimes both. So we have the physical style bullying. We have it as children. We have it in the workplace, where as adults you might run into one of those managers or some guy in a factory who doesn't like people and wants his way and only his way. So, he bullies people. He may even physically bully people or physically intimidate people. We have that in office situations where people will bully other people by going, if you don't really do it my way, then there's no chance of you getting a great promotion. You need to do my bidding in order to get anywhere. That is a form of bullying. One of the other most destructive forms of bullying, I believe, is domestic violence bullying. And I'm not an expert in domestic violence. In fact, I'm not an expert in anything, just ask my wife. But in a domestic situation, and I'm going to tell you because I know guys and girls that are in these situations, both on the bullying side and the bullied side. In a domestic situation, a lot of times you have one partner who will do whatever they have to control and dominate. And um, and I know a couple right now. I've known him forever. I mean, literally almost forever. And he's a bully. He's a bully to his wife. And what methods does he use to bully people? Well, the method could be simply financially. You're going to take my abuse, my verbal abuse, my physical abuse, because if you don't, you're not going to get any money. You're not going to get to go on trips. You're not going to get to do those things. So, or I'm going to divorce you and I will make damn sure the lawyer takes everything from you and you get nothing. Now, we all know that that's not logic. If you're going to go down that road, you get your own attorney and you fight it out, and everybody gets their chunk in the end. But there's a lot of that goes on in relationships. It could be a form of bullying and domestic violence situation or domestic relationship. Could be if you don't do what I want you to do, then the wife says there will be no sex or no whatever. So the interesting thing I find is we have all these different categories of physical bullying. And I do believe, looking back as children, the school systems and the social awareness of bullying has gotten better. I'm not saying it's done and over with or perfect, but I do think we've made great strides in physical bullying. When I was growing up, if you got in a fight with a kid in school, it was no big deal. Today, if you get in a fight with a kid at school, you go to jail. You get charges brought against you for those assaults in schools. Both of you can be charged for fighting in school. So that has changed. It has definitely changed the dynamics and paradigm of physical bullying. Now, as a YouTube creator, as a, what do we call ourselves, digital creator, one thing that I find very disturbing and kind of upsetting is how much bullying there is on the internet. And there's several different ways that people bully on the internet. A lot of times it's what I call keyboard warriors. These are people that want to hide behind their keyboards and call people names. They attack their videos, their Facebook pages, maybe their podcasts, forums, chat rooms, whatever it may be. They come on there and under the disguise of whatever fake name they make up and a icon that they put out there, they feel empowered because they're behind a keyboard to go after and attack people. To me, that's the biggest coward there is. Um, I grew up with the philosophy, and I still have the philosophy today, that I will stand by whatever I say. That's why, if you look at our channel, we have well over 500 videos and live streams, and I am more than happy to give my opinion about a subject, and I'm not shy about that. But you also always see my face and my name attached to my opinions. I don't play keyboard warrior. So, and I'll tell you how I first experienced this was as a teacher in college. We had to put measures in place to keep our students on an online class being keyboard warriors. And what I found out early was so here's what we did. We'd have an online class, and I would have to make sure that they posted their own picture, a real picture of them, and use their name. Okay, now I'm not talking about their address and all of those personal information, but name and photo, and that eliminated the keyboard warriors. If even in an online college class, you would have students, if you didn't do this, taking cheap shots at other students. But once you kind of did this, you took that anonymity away from them. You took that boasterness from behind the keyboard took away, then that went away. So I think keyboard warriors are true cowards. But so that's one type of electronic bullying that we have today. Another type is, and I do think we're getting better at this, but we've seen where a lot of, and it's usually girls seem to get bullied online a lot. And I do believe the schools are getting better, and social media is helping with this and making things better, but it's by far not taken care of. So maybe if you don't know, a young lady will show up at a new school, and maybe she's smarter than a couple of the other girls. Maybe she's prettier than the other girls. Maybe she's uglier than the other girls. Who knows? But somewhere down that line, at some point, we'll decide I'm going to bully her. And let me just say this: usually, the person that bullies another person has self-esteem issues. Maybe they don't like themselves. Maybe they're unhappy in the world. Their lives are miserable, so they take that out. And we have to understand the root cause of bullying before we can eliminate it. So we have this going on. We've had a history of a lot of our young men and women in school system commit suicide because the online bullying has gotten so bad. Now, in the last few years, the public schools have gotten much better at monitoring that. And parents have become aware that this online bullying happening. I mean, 20 years ago, we would have never thought that somebody would have been bullied, online. Wow, I would never heard that. So as an older person that may have younger children, we are finally catching up to understanding what the young people go through on social media. And if you don't already know that, then here's my advice to you. Make sure and understand what your child is doing online and what's going on in their schools. And I do believe, like I said, we're getting better, but we got a long ways to go. Now, the other big time of bullying, especially from a e-bullying or an internet bullying, from a digital creator standpoint, is, and I'm not going to name names, because I don't want to drive traffic to their YouTube channels. But we have a lot of YouTube channels that are bullies. And I'm going to give you some examples, but no names. So there are examples of these YouTube channels that literally go out in public with their phone or their camera and they push the issue in front of other people, trying to irritate them. I'm not talking about the cop watchers. I'm talking about these jokesters who, there's two of them that come into mind. One just got shot a while back. He was bothering some poor delivery guy, and the delivery guy felt threatened and he kept trying to walk away, walk away. And this guy trying to pull a practical joke on the delivery guy kept getting into his face and arguing with him about nothing because there was nothing to argue about because there was no issue. It was all make believe as a joke for this guy's YouTube channel. Well, he got shot. Well, he survived. And the guy that pulled the trigger, the delivery guy, actually was acquitted on those charges because they found, yeah, you were bullying him, you were threatening him, he's walking away and you're going after him, so you get shot. Another one, and I did a video on him on my channel. You can see about this gentleman out in California who's now in jail because he was literally bullying and harassing homeless people, women in stores, all in order to get clicks, likes, and views. And that's something that I think as a digital creator that we all need to take a stand upon is especially those really blatant channels that go out there and intentionally try to bully people just so they can get likes, subscribes, and views. A lot of times they're called trolls. Trolls on live streams are bullies. If you don't know what a troll is, if you're doing a live stream and you get somebody in your chat who's trying to start a fight with people or call people names or trying to drop links to porn or doing all this different stuff, disrupting, that's a troll and that's a bully. What you do with those on your live stream is you just keep deleting them, and you have your moderators help you out with that to manage those trolls and or bullies, online bullies. So those are very important little things. Now, from a YouTube creator standpoint, we do have channels out there that are true bullies. And these aren't channels that are going after people like what I talked about with the guy who got shot or the guy that's in jail. These are big channels that don't want competition. They will, if somebody talks about their channel, they will try to mobilize their followers. I call it drinking the Kool-Aid. They're Kool-Aid drinkers to come after other channels. So let's just say my channel, for instance. I don't do this because I don't really care. But I'm going to use me as an example. If I'm a big channel and I got a big following and somebody decided that they wanted to talk about my channel, and as long as they're not saying anything, that's wrong, I don't really care. But or like a topic. So maybe one of these big channels is getting a lot of traction over something that's happening in a small town, corruption. So they're getting a lot of traction. So now that other people are starting to talk about the same small town, and the politics are going on and the corruption that's going on in these small little towns down in Florida, or wherever it may be, they decide to turn their Kool-Aid drinkers onto those other channels. And without using the words, go attack these people, they send the message on their live streams and their videos that we are basically the only true one channel that have a right to talk about these things, even though it's all public information. And you can never mention our YouTube channel name. If you do, we're going to sue you, and our minions, our Kool-Aid drinkers, are going to come after you and say bad things about you on your own channel and attack you. So I see those not only here in the United States, I also see these because, as you know, we are the Philippine American couple, the Adventures of, right? And so there are a lot of Filipino there's a lot of channels in the Philippines and a lot of channels related to the Philippines, and that are maybe Americans, Australians, Germans, expats, foreigners who have the same mentality. The only way they can get views is to start a fight with another YouTube channel in hopes of getting traction and views. Well, to me, that's a form of bullying. Um, It's a sad, sad situation, but that's the world we in. We have these people motivating their Kool-Aid drinkers to go out there and disrupt other people's channels. So these are the forms of bullying that I see, that I'm concerned about, and that we all should be concerned about. But here's one thing I want to say in summary, right? When we look at bullying, bullies, how do these adults, how does an adult male my age online be a bully? You know how? Because that's what I was taught was okay as a child. So I do think there's hope for the future, because what's happening if we're teaching our little kids now that physically bullying people is not good, it's not right. Bullying people online, harassing the girls, trying to drive them into misery because of the way they look or how smart they are, it doesn't really matter. We were taught as a child, because I never got in trouble for it, that bullying was okay. These guys think bullying's okay because we were taught that way. Now, I'm not for sure how much we can reteach old people like me in these other channels, because one, they're making money off of this, so money is a huge motivator for them to keep bullying other channels and other people, or seeking or sicking their Kool-Aid drinkers on other channels and other people for speaking about a topic. Now, the good news is, as I was saying, is I can see a shift in the paradigm where our the young people that are here and now will grow up to become adults who do not bully. Now, that's something that's been promising, and that's something that we got to continue to work on as digital creators, as parents, as good citizens, as good employees, is that we put our foot down and say, it is not okay for you to bully somebody in line at a grocery store. It is not okay for an employee to bully another employee. I'm asking you guys and you women, men and women, everybody, to stand up and call these bullies out and say, enough is enough. We're not going to do this. You don't have the right to do this to people. And if we can do that, then I think we can. I know maybe it's naive for me, but I really like to think that maybe we can make a difference in the world and make things better. And I'm asking you guys to do that. These channels, these YouTube channels, these Facebook groups that target other channels that want to talk about similar topics, whatever it may be. The best way you can deal with them is not to go to their sites, not to go to their pages, not to watch their videos. That's what you do there. You don't engage in a fight with them. You just disengage totally. When a bully is after you, the best thing you can do is not acknowledge. And like I just said, a lot of the motivation on YouTube for the bullies are money. And they get monies by how many people, one, donate to their live streams, giving them super chats, and how many videos they put out, and videos are watched, and commercials are watched, and ads are viewed. That's how they generate revenue. So if we can all decide that we're not going to go to these channels, and once we see a channel like this, we're not going to have anything to do with them, the revenue streams dry up, and the bullying effect, the benefit of being a bully, is no longer there. All right, guys, look, we greatly appreciate you. Thank you for watching a podcast with the pack. Enjoy your day and leave us a comment about anything I've said. Right, wrong, indifferent, I don't care. I just like to have an open dialogue. That's what these podcasts are all about. Thank you.